Alexander Stone's voice cracked across azure heights like a whip. "Find the error and I'll give you $10 million. Laughter followed, polished and mean. He stood from table 12, 34, immaculate navy suit, eyes sharp enough to slice. A model-perfect fiancée at his side, a circle of Manhattan's elite leaning in for sport. He raised his tablet like a trophy, a complex acquisition model glowing on the screen. Danielle Carter's fingers tightened around her serving tray. 8 months of invisible survival behind a red apron, hair pinned back, eyes lowered. She'd trained herself not to see, not to be seen. But the mistake leapt out anyway. Row 7, column 3, accelerated depreciation misapplied under the new tax laws. Millions off. Her mind, still honed and dangerous despite everything she'd buried, did the math in a breath. 10 million and not one person, Alexander started. That's simple, Danielle said, the words escaping before she could stop them. Every head turned. Heat crawled up her neck. She steadied her voice. Your depreciation schedule ignores the accelerated write-downs required by the new legislation. Row 7, column 3. Your 5-year return is inflated by roughly 12 million. If you proceed, you'll find the whole too late to course-correct. Silence broke on a single, collective inhale. Alexander's smile turned predatory. He scrolled, jaw hardening, then looked up with a spark she recognized. Respect. Marcus, he said without looking away from her, verify it. His COO, Marcus Chen, ran the numbers. 20 seconds. 30. Color drained from his face. She's right, he ground out. Closer to 14 million over 5 years. Alexander crossed the room in 3 strides. Close enough that Danielle could smell expensive cologne and ambition. Name. Danielle Carter. He spoke it like a verdict, then, louder for the room. I keep my word. Miss Carter just earned $10 million. Shock rippled through crystal and chandeliers. His fiancée, Victoria Ashford, went white with fury. Marcus's eyes narrowed, cool and assessing. Alexander kept his gaze locked on Danielle. How does a waitress spot what my team missed in 3 days? She reached for invisibility. Lucky guess. I read about the tax changes. No, he murmured for her alone. That's expertise. Then, to everyone, Miss Carter, I have an alternative to a check. A position at Stone Enterprises. 300,000 salary. The 10 million as a 5-year performance bonus. Or you walk out with a check and we never see each other again. Your choice. She could barely breathe. Months of safety and shame trembled under the weight of being seen. In the break room, her friend Sarah pushed her into a chair, demanded the truth. Danielle said it out loud for the first time in a year. MBA, boutique firm founder, top-tier deals, until her partner and fiancé, James Morrison, forged signatures, bled clients, and torched her reputation. Cleared, but radioactive. She disappeared and learned to carry a tray. Victoria found her next. Heels like gunshots on cheap linoleum, threats like ice. Turn him down, she hissed. Or I will unseal every door you thought you'd closed. Danielle shook, then steadied. She had survived worse. A text buzzed. Alexander. No pressure. Don't let fear decide. I know your case. You were cleared. Talent like yours doesn't scare me. Think. She met him the next morning at Corner Brew. He wore a cashmere sweater instead of armor, but the presence was the same. He slid a contract across the table. Salary, options, a bonus plan. Whistleblower protections, audit rights, a clause obligating her to refuse anything unethical with immunity. Take it to a lawyer, he said. I'll pay. Why so careful? She asked. Because talent is precious and trauma is real, he said simply. My mother reminded me. He didn't flinch at her past. He asked for her eyes on a controversial target, Meridian Analytics, a failing consultancy wrapped around algorithms that might be gold. Every advisor had told him to walk. His gut said stay. She joined Monday. Corner office. Dual monitors. A view that felt like oxygen. In the Meridian meeting, she read their binder, flipped once, and saw it. Don't buy what Meridian is, buy what it could be in the right hands. Strip the money-bleeding services. Keep the team and the models that were quietly delivering a 93% retention rate in a sinking ship. Integrate the tech into Stone's enterprise clients and reprice the deal as a strategic asset purchase. ROI in 9 months, full integration in 18. Lisa from finance leaned forward, eyes bright. Legal started mapping the path. Marcus smiled without warmth. After, Alexander warned softly, he's territorial. Be careful. She said she could handle it. He believed her, and texted her that his mother wanted dinner on Friday. Eleanor Stone was elegance and X-ray vision. She listened, asked invasive questions with compassion, and nodded only when Danielle answered plainly about James and the wreckage. Good, Eleanor said at last. Honesty survives. She excused herself for a hospital board call. Alexander returned alone. Tension sat at the edges of his smile. She likes you, he said. Then, lower, real. I ended my engagement this morning. Not because of you, because it was convenient, not right. But you made me remember what wanting feels like. We should be careful, Danielle whispered. There are rules. Rules I wrote, he said. We follow them. We do this slowly. Or not at all, your choice. Slowly, she said. Truthfully. 2 weeks later, midnight glass turned the city into a sea of light as they poured over Meridian files in his office. Danielle stilled. A pattern in vendor payments, buried in noise. Shells. Offshores. Small schemes tucked into acquisition chaos. Familiar, awful choreography. Tell me I'm wrong, she said. You're not, Alexander said, face hollow. Marcus. At that moment a text buzzed from Marcus. Working late? Some secrets should stay buried. The office plunged into emergency red. Footstep. Marcus walked in with 2 large men, his decade-long mask gone. We had an exit in 6 months, he said almost gently. Then you hired a woman who can't help seeing. Danielle's eyes found the alarm by the door. Her phone was too far. The evidence lay on the desk. Marcus drew a gun. You made one mistake, she said, voice steadying on fear. You assumed I didn't make backups. The second I saw your shells, everything went to a secure cloud and 3 attorneys, with instructions to open if anything happened to me or Alexander. Kill us, and you guarantee exposure. He wavered. Rage won. He raised the gun. Alexander hit him like a battering ram. The shot went wide, glass spiderwebbed. Danielle yanked the alarm. Sirens screamed. Marcus's men bolted. Marcus fought like a man trying to erase 10 years of friendship and theft in one act. The gun skittered. Danielle grabbed it, hands shaking. Stop, she said. It's over. Police stormed the floor minutes later. Statements. Evidence preserved. An empire saved at dawn. On the sidewalk, Alexander wrapped her close. You saved our lives. I wasn't bluffing, she said into his shoulder. After James, I always make backups. 3 months blurred with work, hearings, Meridian's reframe, and the clean pain of severing rot. Marcus pled to embezzlement, fraud, attempted murder. Victoria moved to Paris with a new headline. Meridian, stripped and integrated, became the engine Danielle had promised. 30 million in profit and a moat around Stone's services. Back at Azure Heights, remade for a private event, Eleanor beamed while Sarah Martinez, now the youngest manager in the restaurant's history, arranged flowers in a quick, efficient ballet. Alexander stood before friends and family and reached for Danielle's hands. The arrogance was still there, burnished now by gratitude. I planned an eloquent speech, he said, smiling. Then I remembered you don't need decoration, you need truth. You saw me. You challenged me. You saved what I built and reminded me who I want to be. Danielle Carter, smartest decision I've ever made. Will you marry me? Tears and laughter together. Yes, she said, 10 times over, and meant each one. In a quiet corner, he pressed a small velvet box into her palm, an engagement ring, and a second box with something weightier to her. A partnership contract. Chief Strategy Officer, he said. Equal voice. Equal stake. Business and life. Stand beside me in both. She signed with steady hands. Equal partners, she said. In everything. Epilogue. A year later, Sarah launched a scholarship for service workers. Marcus's appeals failed. The seized funds returned to shareholders and employee bonuses. Victoria married a French aristocrat and mailed holiday cards so barbed that Alexander and Danielle framed them for comedy. Eleanor became godmother to the twins born 18 months after the wedding. And Danielle Carter Stone, no longer invisible, never forgetful of those who are, made it her mission to see potential where others don't. Some mistakes end you. Some second chances save you. She had found both. She chose the latter, and built a life that kept choosing it every day.